Big changes are here to Instagram in 2018. How do we know what they are and how to leverage them better? Stay tuned in this episode of Wharf at Work. We got it. All right, let's talk Instagram for a minute. This is my personal account, but as you can see in the app, I've got multiple accounts. If I just put my thumb on the icon in the lower right, I can see that I've got a couple personal accounts and one business account. And so you can freely just flip between those accounts by clicking on the profile. You set those up by adding and logging in multiple credentials. And so if I want to switch between my small business or my personal account, I can keep everything separated in the app from personal to business. And so let's talk about some important changes to Instagram in 2018. The first one is something that was introduced last year, and that's Instagram stories. And so as we know, the majority of posts on Instagrams are usually a photo and a caption. And the reason people use Instagram is because it eliminates the noise out of other social networks like Facebook that has, a lot of political chatter or people trying to sell you stuff or, a lot of noise and memes and a lot of just junk content. So people jumped ship from Facebook, moved over to Instagram because they felt, it was an oasis of content, original content, driven by mobile devices, getting away from all the people trying to market stuff. And that's ironic because we're trying to use Instagram as a marketing platform. It's even more ironic because Facebook owns Instagram. But enough about that. If we take a look at Instagram, we see it's a series of posts and it's a picture that we have a comment and a discussion. I can forward those to other people and I can bookmark them for later. But up top, we see something called stories. Stories are intended to be the gap between official posts where you would put raw content and you can watch them all like a TV show. But if I highlight my user account, I'll see that I've got a story and then I can see multiple frames. It works like a slideshow. If I click to the right, I go advance the slide just like PowerPoint. If I go to the left, it'll go back, and over time, 15 seconds per frame, I am going ahead and progressively building up and telling a story. I'm using Instagram's native text and stickers and other things to allow me to tell my story over photographs that I've had in the last 24 hours. And the idea is this competes with Snapchat. And Snapchat, if you're at all familiar with that platform, Snapchat is something that allows you to post something for 24 hours and then it disappears. So one of the biggest changes is that stories are now able to be curated on your profile. And so we pull them from an archive and they last more than 24 hours. So that's a great storytelling opportunity. And what I mean by that is if I go to my profile, you'll see now stories are in the lower right here. And these are stories I pulled out. They're more than 24 hours old. And the opportunity here is that stories used to be raw. People knew that the content would be ditched in 24 hours, so they didn't put a lot of effort into them. Now we can storytell with some production value because we know we can repurpose and show this beyond the 24 hours piece. This was a story that I've curated on my profile, which is just a day in the life video montage of my morning routine. It's just trying to showcase what my average morning is like here coming to work and showcasing that in a first person view. And you'll see that often on Instagram as a storytelling device. But I can see that with this story, it's been seen by 42 people. If I click on that, I can see who those 42 people are. And if I start to see the same names over and over, I might want to track them down on Instagram and engage with them because they're obviously interested in my content. And so that's a really great opportunity because we can put video content. Like if I had a restaurant, I would definitely be putting my specials and my culture and telling my story in video format. I might be putting my origin story. I might show a day in the life montage. There's lots of things that we can curate here now that we weren't able to do before. So another big change is you can follow hashtags. And as we know, hashtags are like keywords for websites to classify things, and we can be easily discovered based on the hashtags that we want. So if I go to Instagram search and I click on the search, and I can search by tags, I know that one popular tag, I'm following the hashtag Lethbridge. People put that to classify their posts that they're in Lethbridge or targeting Lethbridge. And because I'm following that, this works just like a user, but it's curating everyone who puts the Lethbridge hashtag in their post. So that's one way to do it. I feel that if you're a small business and you're targeting people in Lethbridge or in a specific place, that actually taking a look at the places posts is a little better than hashtag. There's a lot of vanity metrics on Instagram, and one of those vanity metrics is follower count. I have 100,000 followers, I have 200,000 followers. Nobody cares how many of them can actually buy your product or engage with you in real life, because of course we're dealing with this online, and the majority of the goals that we have for online is to convert to an offline purchase, acquisition, engagement, lead capture, whatever it is. So if I say all phones have a GPS in them, and phones basically tag with the post where they are. So if I'm in Lethbridge, Alberta, I can now see that all these users are also posting from Lethbridge, Alberta. And so rather than trying to figure out who the people to engage with are for my brand, if I was selling to people in Lethbridge and I wanted to really go ahead and curate a relationship with other brands or other people, I would look at the most recent or top posts, and I would simply say, hey, the top post is a concert series here. We know they rolled through Lethbridge. They're not from Lethbridge necessarily, I don't know, but I would engage with them because that's hot and relevant and certainly a hot topic right now that would get me some followers in a conversation. But if I look at the most recent, let's take this spin class, for example. So Lethbridge Sport and Social Association highlighting that Patrick and Ben went to the YMCA and on spin bikes. This was 42 minutes ago, so it's fresh. So I can now say, looking good, guys. And I know that I've now got a fresh engagement with both a brand by liking their post and the original people that posted this post. And so now if we continue to have a conversation or get some familiarity over time, these are people or brands that I can actually follow up with and purchase goods or services from or make networking connections with. So this is a high value interaction, not getting my account full of hundreds of thousands of fake accounts or overseas accounts, or just generally buying followers or using bots, which is an automated way to engage a community. So that's following by hashtags and places. That's Instagram stories. And for 2018, this is a great way to market. There is a few changes coming up in 2018 that we need to be aware of. The first one allows content creators to scan Instagram for copyright violations. That's something that's being rolled out in testing right now. The other one is reposting other people's content by resharing. So right now, Instagram doesn't allow you to reshare posts. So we have third-party apps. I have an app called Repost that'll do this. And the users have sort of had a workaround. So if I wanted to repost Core Blunt's post, I would copy the link to this post, and then I would then go to my Repost app, and it would take that link off the clipboard and allow me to create a brand new post, giving credit to the original author. So I click on that, and now I can repost this on my account, giving credit down below in graphic format to say this isn't my content, this is recycled from somebody else. But now that's coming up to be an official feature in a future release. So other things I wanted to talk about how to upload from the desktop. How do we know if what we're posting to Instagram is actually hitting or doing the job we want it to? Well, if you convert your account to a business account, you'll get Instagram Insights. Okay, so you'll get Instagram Insights. This is Coalbanks Co. This is one of my ventures. And Coalbanks Co. you see has a little icon that isn't on personal sites, and that's these statistics. And This account's pretty dormant right now. We're going to rev it up again in the spring. But I can see followers, impressions, demographics of those people, the most popular posts. I can see those stories, engagements that we talked about that were so important. And I can see any paid for promo. That's a great and free way to see if what we're doing is engaging and that the type of content that we're putting out is actually reaching the audience we're trying to market to. All right. Did you know you can interact with Instagram not on your phone? Using your phone is fine, but sometimes you want to edit professional video, use photos from other sources, or just find that your phone is a little cumbersome. So there's a sweet hack you can use to get things to work right on your desktop, and it involves a web browser. So basically, this is the view that we see when we visit Instagram online, and this is the normal view without doing anything weird to it. But this is Opera. This also works in Chrome, Safari, anything that has developer tools. And developer tools are something you need to turn on that most browsers have hidden away. And so in Opera, if I go Tools, Web Developer, and take a look at Responsive Design Mode, which is Command-Shift-M, you'll get the web page looking like this. And so this is the web browser emulating a device. And so they call this responsive design mode. But you can tell it what device to emulate. So you can say, hey, even though you're on a desktop, tell Instagram that you're an iPhone. So here it is as an iPhone 6. And so when we say an iPhone 6, Instagram shows us the mobile user interface. So now we can scroll through. Our feed, and we can look at our profile, we can look at our favorites, and we can engage in discussion just like we could on our phone. But the most important thing here is that we can add content. So when I click the plus, I now have the ability to add things off my local machine. So if I was going to go ahead and, find a graphic that's on my computer here. If I say my graphic right off my computer, this is coming from my file system on my computer right to Instagram. So I'm able to post to Instagram right off the desktop. Super handy, especially if we were typing a lot of hashtags or typing a lot of content. This frees us up from the 2-thumb iPhone keyboard commando skills. So just a little hack for you. If you tell your browser using the developer tools that you're using a phone, then Instagram will adapt and give you the user interface on your desktop that you enjoy on your phone. So try it out, let me know how it goes. Hey, I hope you enjoyed this video and found this information valuable. If you did, I would love for you to click like or subscribe here on YouTube to help my channel get a little more reach and to be notified of when I publish new content. Thanks, you're awesome. See you in the next video.